So a couple months back, I was mocking up this design for a guitar. I didn't get a chance to start it because I was in the middle of being on tour, but now I actually have some downtime to start working on it. So I took some inspiration from a C4 Corvette I saw online, and then I went ahead and picked up this gem kit guitar body, and now I'm going to finally start painting. So if you know anything about mahogany, it's very porous. There's a lot of holes in it, and so we have to fill those in before we can even start priming or painting. First thing I'm going to do is pull this neck off this guitar. I don't actually plan on using it. I'm probably going to use this to practice fret work, but in the meantime though, I am shopping around for a different neck that's going to fit the design style for this build. For prepping this body, we're going to use some wood filler. This is some water-based stuff, so this is pretty easy to work with. Basically what I'm doing is just working this into the grain. The problem with mahogany is that when you go to paint it without prepping that body, over time as the paint begins to shrink, it's going to create a lot of small indentations that are in the grain. And we don't want that. We want something that looks like it's almost like a paint job on a car. Something also I found that made this easier to do was actually cut this with water. Essentially, I'm turning this almost into a paint so it can fill in those gaps a little bit easier. Now, I know this looks almost cake-like, but don't worry, we're actually going to sand this all back once it finally dries. But I only started with the front, and after a few hours, it went ahead and dried, and so we're going to flip it over and start working on the backside now. Now, while this time lapse is happening, I'm going to talk about what I actually plan on doing for the paint job. For the finish, I'm actually going to use actual automotive paint. This process isn't anything new. This is actually how they used to paint guitars back in the day. So I did some shopping around on Amazon. I did find some Duplicolor Perfect Match. It's just some generic white paint that would fit, but I wanted to take a step further. Because this is a C4 themed build, I knew I wanted to do something that was a little bit more period correct for the actual finish. So I went around, browsed on the internet, and actually went on the Corvette forums, and after doing some research, I found the exact color code that GM used to use back in the day, which was WA9567, also known as Arctic White. So shopped around on Amazon, and I actually found the exact same paint code available online. So now while I wait for this paint to actually arrive, we got the body done. We just got to wait for this to dry, and then I can finally start everyone's favorite part about painting. It's sanding. I love sanding.